Good morning, everyone. As you may know, I'm Sönke from Dean, and I want to begin with sending a big thank you to Eamon for the organization of this event, because I guess they had very stressful last weeks. And thank you for the possibility of giving this input. It's a pity that at the moment we can't meet each other in person, but I hope anyway that we have good next 2 days together. The upside is that this situation gives also the possibility to try out new things, and that's the reason why we decided to create a training video that we want to share with you. For us, this is also a premiere, so I hope that everything works out. You can see me, you can hear me clearly. If yes, let's begin with the training. I want to start with a picture that I think captures the two main messages of this training. We want to help you to reach as many people as possible with the developments you are currently working on, to literally make you crowd-serve the AM community. And we want to implement a long-term thinking to create solutions that last and that prevent falling off the wave. Therefore, the two central elements are the creation of togetherness, which we combine with the durability thinking in order to create values that remain after the end of Integradde. Today's training structures into 5 chapters. First, we are looking for the meaning to answer the question, what are the benefits? Secondly, we will build a structure, providing you with the different options and the process to show the possibilities you have. In the third chapter, we emphasize how to become active and which way you can follow for participation. The fourth chapter will deal with AM-specific characteristics and give you an insight into ongoing projects. At the end, we will have a short summary with the information you should remember from this training. Also, each chapter will end with a recap, summing up takeaway messages and links to further information. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever faced the challenge of explaining something to a person or to a group and felt that they didn't really understand you? Or that you somehow felt alone, that you lacked an audience with whom you could share your idea or your development? Or that the solution you developed just won't fit with existing ones? In that case, have you ever thought of writing your own standard to help you in this situation? In case you have ever faced one of these situations, a standard might be a solution, because by describing the state of the art, it creates a generic language which is understandable for everyone, and this creates a common understanding. It gives you the opportunity to define the rules, changing communication issues into mutual understanding. As multiplication tool, it opens the access to a network of relevant stakeholders, containing 34 countries and more than 200,000 experts in Europe alone. An increased exchange with this group also generates a movement towards joint action. At the same time, concerns of existing stakeholders can be reduced, leading from loneliness to a room full of listeners. And finally, it ensures interoperability, making it possible that things fit to each other. By disseminating your results widely, it supports the impact, leading to an easier market access. Let's recap the first chapter. There are 3 facts you should remember. A standard defines the state of the art. It is a multiplication tool, making it possible to reach many people. Through wide dissemination, it can increase the impact of your result. Further information can be found using these links. Let's have a look at exactly what we are talking about here. First of all, a standard is a document that establishes a common ground between multiple parties by defining a shared language. Usually, this is the foundation to lay down rules or guidelines, to show the public the right direction in a specific issue. By defining requirements for a product or a process, such document creates conformity, leading to an understandable order which can therefore be used by everyone. To ensure that the implemented definition is accepted widely, these documents are always produced by consensus. Very important is the understanding that a standard is developed by yourself. It's not the fixed will of a government, but rather the voice of the industry. To achieve the intended impact, you can choose between different tools, which vary in the production time and the level of dissemination. For example, you could use a consortium standard, which is quick to develop by only a few people. But often it's not publicly available, and thereby it's bad for interaction with many people. For this purpose there are better tools. One way is the so-called specification, which can be developed in nearly the same time. It has a high consensus level by including about 10 different parties, and it's publicly available. So this is a fast and flexible tool that can easily be applied for many purposes. The other option you have is the well-known standard. Yes, it takes more time than a specification due to a higher level of consensus and the mandatory engagement of the public. But in the end, you have a reliable, trustworthy and acknowledged tool. Both solutions can also be linked in order to combine the advantages of both worlds. This way, you first have a quick way to disseminate your innovation in order to prove itself on the market. Afterwards, you start the standardization process to receive a reliable rule with long-term effect. Both tools come in various shapes depending on your individual case. A type often used is the definition of requirements for a product. But you can also specify certain test procedures and describe how the test should be carried out. Another important aspect is often the guarantee of safety and quality, which can be determined by uniform specifications. Not only products, but also a service or a process can be unified. This way everyone knows how and in what order to follow a guideline. An additional application field is the definition of specific terminology or the use of symbols. This helps everyone to recognize important signs quickly and to react in a correct way. So, for every application, you should select the right type of your tool. Of course, before you start, you should know how to proceed and to handle the tool. And therefore, the first step is that we connect you with the standardization community consisting of experts from the industry, research, public authorities, and the general public. These stakeholders are organized in national committees, where they agree on national positions. Every national committee then sends a delegate to the European or the International Committee. In this committee, the actual development of the document takes place. The finished document is distributed and acknowledged by the participating members. This allows a broad application of the created knowledge. Before heading to the next chapter, I want you to take away these 4 key facts. There are different options to choose which can be adapted to your need. Sometimes a specification is a better start, especially for innovations. Your journey usually starts on the national level. And don't wait until others set the rules for you when you can do it yourself. Further information, again, is attached in these links. Do you remember these pictures from the beginning? If you have a situation like this and you are thinking about participating, I have some practical guidance for you. The first step is to identify your need and to select a suitable tool as we have shown in the previous slides. The second step is simple, just follow one of these paths. For a standard, you contact then the European or your national standardization body and submit the proposal for a standard. For a specification and other needs, you contact your national standardization body and find a suitable solution together. Since we are part of Integradde, there's a fast lane especially for you. You contact us directly and we will help you with your issue. In order to estimate the effort you will have to invest, we attached this table. Different types of participation are broken down to give you an impression of the required time and the resources you have to consider, as this depends to a high degree on your specific need. This chapter only has 2 facts you should remember. You decide yourself how much time you want to invest. And the actual work happens in a productive atmosphere with other professionals having a similar as well as a different background. Again, more information is attached in these links. Coming to the AM part. To give your first impression, we included a list with the most important standards so far. But since AM is a very active field in standardization, these documents quickly might be supplemented. Therefore, it's important to stay up to date. More information can be found in the research we have conducted and already sent to you. If you have a question or a need for any of these standards, you are welcome to contact us. In order to give you an understanding of the structure of AM within the standardization landscape, we have prepared this chart. Special for AM is that ISO, the international, and ASTM, the American organization, agreed on cooperating in this field. This cooperation is organized in joint working groups, shown here on the right. All European contributions are channeled through the ISO working groups, shown here on the left. If you have any questions or suggestions, Javus, the secretary, or Christian, the chairman, are happy to be contacted. In the last recap, we have 2 key facts you should remember. The area of AM is a very vivid one, with many ongoing projects. And we will do our best to connect you with the global AM standardization network. Further information again attached in the links. Let's wrap up today's training. Even if you have not directly incorporated everything, we like you to remember these messages. Our objective in Integradde is to support you in reaching as many people as possible and to establish a long-term thinking by developing permanent guidance. Just try to remember this picture. Also, we are here for you, so in case of any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. In that case, you concentrate on the content and we'll take care of the rest. That's it of today's training. I hope it was at least a little bit interesting and you learned something new. Also, I wish all of us to continue our good cooperation and I'm waiting to hear of you soon. Thank you very much for your time and have a good day.